Hello, this is Mrs. Ross, and this is Lesson 3, Unknown Numbers in Addition, Subtraction, Multiplication, and Division. These are our starred problems for this lesson, and this comes from Saxon Course 2. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, if you know the subtrahend and the difference, how can you find the minuend? Write a complete sentence. Okay, so what I remember when I see the word subtrahend, because it's not one you see very often, I know that many minus sharks equals died. So let's say it says I don't know the minuend. So minuend, fancy word, minus I know the subtrahend, and I know the difference. So this is still kind of complicated to figure out. So let me see if I can make it a little bit easier. So I don't know the minuend. Let's say minus 2 equals 5. Okay. Now I could also write this as this minus 2 equals 5, or instead of the question mark, let's put an X in there. Now I know that something minus 2 equals 5. How am I going to find X? I'm going to do the opposite of subtraction. And I have to do it to both sides. My equals is going to come down. My 2 goes away. My X comes down. And this is 7. So how did I do that? I added, so this is the subtrahend, and this is the difference. I added the subtrahend and the difference to find the minuend. That's what they're looking for. Okay, I know that's kind of convoluted and a lot of math vocabulary, but that's what we've got. Number 3, which property of addition is stated by this equation? So I have a plus b plus c, a plus b. So my order is the same. I haven't changed the order. I've only changed my parentheses. So when I change my parentheses, it's associative property. Okay? If one addend is 7 and the sum is 21, what is the other addend? So this is what I know. I know that an addend plus an addend equals a sum. So let me plug in what I have. Let's just call the first one A. Plus 7 is equal to 21. And how am I going to solve this? Well, this is an addition problem. Some number plus 7 equals 21. So I'm going to subtract. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to come down here. This goes away. This is equals. Hold on, I'm so sorry. I had to step away for just a minute. I had a phone call and wrecking my math video for the most awesome kids in the world. That's not cool. Okay, so I subtracted 7 from this side. I'm subtracting 7 from this. Come on, there we go. 4, 1, 14. So I have A is equal to 14. All right. Number 5 says use the numbers 3 and 4 to illustrate the commutative property of multiplication. Use a center dot. So let me change my, so I have 3 times 4, and we know that commutative property is all about order. So we're going to change the order to 4 times 3, and that's how that works. Number 6, list the properties used in the first and second steps to simplify the expression 5 plus x plus 7. So we're given 5 plus x plus 7. And then what I notice from here to here is that the order changed, right? The parentheses are still in the same spot, but they flipped it. So when the order changes, that's a commutative property. Okay? And then from here to here, I notice the parentheses changed. At first it was here, and now it's up here. So when the parentheses change, it's the associative property. And then that means that you can add 5 and 7 and make 12, and then that works out like that. Let's see what else we've got. Awesome. Oh boy, oh boy. Let me do this. I want to look at some subtraction problems. I want to look at 8 and 11, because they're both subtraction problems. And I want to give you kind of a rule as to how to know what to do, when to do it. All right? So up here where it says 96 minus r is equal to 27, I notice that the variable is in the second spot, right? Because this is the first spot, and this is the second spot. When the variable is in the second spot, we subtract. When the variable is in the second spot, we subtract. And you might want to go ahead and write this as an example and write this down in the back of your spiral. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 27. 16 minus 7 is 9. That's 8 is 69. So I get that this is what R equals. And then I'm just going to double check. So 96 minus 69. Oh, what am I doing? Yep, 7, 8, 27. So that checks out. So this is my answer. So that's my first subtraction problem. And when the variable is second, I subtract. Now, number 11, so this is number 8. Number 11, m minus 137 is equal to 731. Okay, so remember, this is my first spot, this is my second spot, right? And when my variable is in the first spot, I add. Okay, this is only when I have subtraction problems. So I'm going to add 137. Let me write this back out again. This one makes complete and total sense. When the variable is in the first spot, this makes all of the sense because you are subtracting this and you have to do the opposite. So, and what we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. And the equals comes down. This is going to go away. My m is here, and that's my answer. Okay? So that's subtraction. Let me now take a look at division, because that's also kind of strange. So 13 and 14 are division. I'm going to do those down here, and then I'll have to erase some. So 13 is 625 divided by W is equal to 25. Okay? When the variable is in the bottom, variable bottom divide. Okay? So I have to divide 625 by 25 to find W. And I get 25. So I get that W is equal to 25. Let me see if that actually works. Divided by 25 equals 25, and that checks out on my calculator. So again, you're going to want to write this down. When the variable is on the bottom, you need to divide. And then I need a place for 14. I'm just going to change my colors and squish it in here. So sorry. So 14x is over 60 is equal to 700. So my variable is in the top. I multiply. Just like I normally would. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do x is equal to 60 times 700, which is 42,000. Is that right? 1, 2, 3. Yep. So those are the hard ones. All right. I'm going to go ahead and erase. Let me see if I can pause and then erase. Okay. As you see, I've cleaned up the page a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started on the ones we didn't do. I checked off the ones we did do. So on number 7, it says x plus 83 is equal to 112. We're adding 83 to some number we don't know. We've got to do the opposite. So we're going to subtract 83. Subtract 83. My x is going to come down. 83 is going to go away. My equals is going to come down. And then I get, let's see, so that's 9, and that's 0, and that's 0, and that's 10. I get 29. So I get x is equal to 29. Okay. Let's go ahead and do 10 in the same color. So I'm adding again. 127 plus some number, z, is equal to 300. So I'm going to subtract from both sides. This goes away. My z comes down. My equals comes down. And then I get, so this is the 9. That's going to be 7. And that's 2. So I get z is equal to 173. All right, let's see which other ones I can do. I'm going to do 12 out here. This is 12. So I have 25 times n is equal to 400. So I'm currently multiplying 25 times n. I need to do the opposite, which is divide, and I have to do it to both sides. 25 over 25 is 1. We normally don't put a 1 in front of our variables. It's kind of an invisible one, but it's still there. If it makes you feel better, you're welcome to do it. Put an equals, and then 400 divided by 25 is 16. So where'd my thing go? There we go. Okay, and the last one is number 9. I'm going to change colors and do this over here. So I have 7 times k, we don't know what k is equal to 119. I'm sorry. So I'm going to divide both sides by 7, and I get k is equal to 119 divided by 7 is 17. I hope these are getting just a little bit easier for you guys, but if not, it's okay. We've only done a few of them. Number 15 says evaluate each expression for a is equal to 20 and b is equal to 5. So here I have a divided by b, and that's equal to 4. Here I have a minus b, which is equal to 15. You can see I'm just plugging in the numbers as I go. AB means that it's multiplied, so I'm going to write it like this. 20 times 5 is equal to 100. And then here I have 20 plus 5, which is equal to 25. All right. 96 divided by 16 divided by 2. So I have to do this part first. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 96 divided by 8 is 12. And then the last one, number 30. Why is 1 called the multiplicative identity? Because anything multiplied by 1 is that same thing. I hope that makes sense. All right, so that's our last starred problem. Please let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.